When we're discussing mediation, there are three types of effects, and these are going to come up in the process output as well when we do that. There's a total effect, the total effect of motivation on performance, and that is ignoring the mediator altogether. That is simply regressing the DV on the IV, and remember that was 0.016 and it was significant. And remember, literally that means for each unit increase in motivation, we expect a jump of 0.016 in academic performance. And so it's good to note that the total effect is equal to the direct effect plus the indirect effect of the IV on the DV. Okay, so the direct effect is next, and that is the direct effect of motivation on performance is the effect when you're controlling for the mediator. So when we regressed the performance variable on both the mediator and the IV, we would have a significant direct effect if the IV is still significant, the B weight. And remember that B weight was 0.010 in this case. And so remember that's the slope for each unit increase in motivation. We would expect a 0.01 points increase in performance, holding the teacher expectations constant. And remember that was not significant anymore, so we did not have a significant direct effect, meaning that most or all of the variability that the IV was causing in the DV was by means of the teacher expectations. So segueing then to that indirect effect, this is also called the mediated effect, and it is the indirect effect of the IV on the DV through that mediator. Okay, so that's the amount of variability that the IV is causing in the DV, but that it's going through a mediator. In this case, expectations. So we have two ways to calculate the indirect effect. The first way to calculate it is subtract 0.016, remember that C path, the total effect from the direct, and subtract, the direct effect from the total effect. So a lot of times the direct effect is noted by a C prime. So the C path itself is the total effect. We just regress the DV on the IV and just look at that relationship. And then the C prime is the B weight of the IV when the mediator's in the model. So it's controlling for the mediator. So we would subtract that direct effect from the total effect, and we get the indirect effect. And that's the variability that's going through the mediator. The other easier way, I think, is to just multiply the A and B paths together, and that's how you get your indirect effect. So you can do that. The math is the same. It's going to be approximate because there's some rounding error in there, but overall it's just a much better way, I think, the A times B, to just do it that way. Okay, so our conclusion for this study, using the Barron and Kenny method and just looking at things, looking at the B weights and the direct and indirect effects, we can conclude that of the total effect of X on Y, and that's, remember, 0.016, with each additional increase in motivation, 0.006 of those points are attributable to the mediation effect, to the teacher expectations. Okay, so of the total effect, here's the indirect effect. That's what we're looking at. So just keep that in mind. Keep in mind these terms: total effect, direct effect, and indirect effect, and know what they are conceptually.